So I'm recording this video in late July 2020, and we're starting to see possibly a uptick, a resurgence of the coronavirus outbreak here in the United States. That's hampered the travel for a lot of us. So I was thinking, what can you do if you can't travel, if you can't really go anywhere, and yet you want to do some beautiful photographs? And my challenge today to myself was to be able to come up with a number of photographs inside my own yard.
If I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard.
So I'm going to be on my side yard, on the backyard of my home, doing some close-up, close to macro work. We'll do some flowers, we'll do some insects, some different things, whatever we can find. We're fortunate today. Today's just a nice directional overcast day, so there's no bright sunlight. Every now and then the sun does seem to peek through, but overall we have just a beautiful light day. So I'm going to show you some tricks in doing some close-up photography work, and hopefully we'll have some fun together. So what I've done is I've set up and I've gone as close as the lens can focus. Now I've got the 18 to 55 zoom lens on my Fuji camera, so I've got pretty close focus on that, some background blur, but there's some issues with this as well. So here we can see, through the viewfinder, through the camera, what we actually see on this image. And of course the difficulty is that my background blur isn't really enough. And we'll do a couple shots and I'll post them right now so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'd like to be able to get even closer to the subject, to isolate it even more, get a lot more background blur, the bokeh in the background. So how can we do that if all we have is the kit lens? Well, the easiest way to do that is actually with extension tubes. So, and I have some here, right here, and we're just going to put on a 10mm extension tube. Now what that is, I don't know if you've ever noticed when you focus closer with your camera, the lens tends to push out a little bit. So that's all an extension tube is doing. It's pushing that lens out a little bit further so it focuses even closer. Now, the lens you have on the camera is probably not designed to focus that close. The engineers who designed all the optics didn't ever plan for that, but you know what? If you're on a budget, it works, and it works well. Now when I say this moves us closer to our subject, I'm not kidding, because I'm now, about front of the lens is about 5 inches away from this flower that I'm photographing. So now I'm getting a little concerned maybe about some camera shake. Things start to multiply a little bit, as we come into this. So there's a lot of different things you can use to avoid camera shake. Some people use the 2 or 10-second timer on their camera, set that and hit the button, and then you wait that 2 seconds and it takes the shot. Other people use an electronic cable release, as they call it. I have one of those, and I really enjoy using that because you can release it from a long way away. I forget how far mine works, but it's at least 100 feet away. Or you can do something old school, and this actually is a real cable release. So you press the button and it actually extends out, and that'll actually fire the shutter, and that's what that little hole is on the top of your shutter mechanism. So you can screw that guy in there, and then you have a little cable release to release that shutter. So let's get ourselves focused in, and let's see where we are on this image, that we are where we're looking for. And again, this is more demonstration purposes than anything else today. I'm not trying to do necessarily any award-winning photography, but just something to kind of show things that you can do without travel. So another method to get closer is to use a longer lens, or a telephoto lens. So now I put on the camera Fuji's native 55 to 200 zoom lens. I'm working at pretty much the closest focusing distance. I've got it extended out to 200mm. I'm still using our same subject right here, flowers, but instead of being just a couple of inches away, now I'm a few feet away. That's about 3 feet, 3.5 feet away from the subject. So, and we'll show you what that photograph looks like as well. So I found these little bugs here on this echinacea flower, and I thought I'd put the my camera mount and tripod to the test. So I put a 10mm extension tube on the 55 to 200 lens. That puts that out a little ways from my poor little camera body, but now I can get photographs of these little iridescent bugs right there. So I'm shooting at f11 at 125th of a second. I'm trying to get as small an aperture as I can to get maximum depth of field, because when you put on one of these extension tubes, your depth of field goes to almost nothing. So we'll see. And again, pretty thankful that autofocus was invented for something like this. So every now and then I've noticed a little fly lands next to this guy, and I almost caught it. So we're gonna hang around and see if maybe we can capture that. So how does the old saying go? The best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So waiting for the fly to come up, my iridescent bug flew away. It's gone. My subject is gone. Well, I think it's going to wrap us up for today. I think we've showed some different techniques, extension tubes, different lenses you can use, focusing techniques, and some little things about equipment. So hopefully you learn that you can take photographs. You don't have to travel far to take good photographs. You can find right in your own backyard suitable and fun subjects to photograph. So as always, thanks for joining me this week, and please remember to subscribe and turn on the alarm notifications so you know we come up. Our plan is to have a new video every week to show some photographic techniques and to kind of give you pointers on things you can do to improve your photography. Again, for Vintage Illumination, this is Jim Fisher. Thanks so much. Well, that's going to wrap us up for this week. Thanks for joining us here on Vintage Illumination Photography by Jim Fisher. Well, that's going to wrap us up this week. Hopefully you learned some good things. And so is this where I should stand? Is it my good side? I'm paying this camera guy too much to do this.